Okay, we're live.
Oh, okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is a regular session of the Mayor and Council, City of Bisbee, County of Cochise, State of Arizona. It's being held on Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025, in our council chambers here on 118 Arizona Street at 7:01 PM. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Trish Damon. Here. Councilmember Pete Skinner.
Here.
Councilmember Karen Schumacher.
Here.
Mayor Ken Budge.
Here.
Councilmember Leslie Johnson is excused. Councilmember Mel Sweet. Mayor Pro Tem Anna Klein is excused. City staff, Stephen Puckin, City Manager. Ashley Coronado, City Clerk. Carrie Bagley, Finance Director. Joelle Landers, Personnel Director. Matthew Gurney, Public Works Director. Jay Ritchie, Deputy Police Chief. Joe Estes, City Attorney.
Thank you. For a moment of silence, we're going to have a moment of personal reflection. I'll ask everybody to stand now, and then we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Thank you.
Allegiance to the flag. States of America. To the republic, which stands. Indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Well, welcome everybody that is here and also online, hopefully. I have one proclamation I'll read tonight about the Wreaths Across America. It's a good benefit to honor our veterans. It's been going on here for quite a number of years. And then I have one longevity award to give out. Before I do that, I still am looking for people for my charter review. I've hit a couple more people up, but we need to start working on that in the first of the year because we need to get it done for the election this year. So if you can think about it and want to give a couple of nights, that would be great. So tonight, this is my proclamation, whereas the Wreaths Across America organization was formed in 2007 as an extension of the Arlington Wreath Project of 1992, where wreaths are laid at the graves of fallen soldiers at Arlington National Cemetery. And whereas the mission of the Wreaths Across America organization is to remember the fallen, to honor those that serve their families, and teach the next generation about the value of freedom. And whereas each year, the Wreaths Across America chooses a new theme to help supporters focus their messages and outreach in their own communities, and has chosen the theme for 2025 as Keep Moving Forward. And whereas each year this mission is carried out by the coordination of laying ceremonial wreaths on a specific Saturday in December at Arlington National Cemetery, as well as at veteran cemeteries and other locations in all 50 states and beyond. And whereas Saturday, December 13th, 2025, has been designated by the Wreaths Across America organization as the date for these ceremonies to occur, I now therefore be it resolved that I, Ken Budge, Mayor of the City of Bisbee, Arizona, do hereby encourage all citizens to participate in the Wreaths Across America and be their witness in these ceremonies throughout our great nation. In witness thereof, I have hereby set my hand and caused the great seal of the City of Bisbee to officiated the 2nd of December, 1925. So at 10 o'clock in the morning at Evergreen Cemetery, there'll be a ceremony and people will lay the wreaths across many of our veterans. Thank you. And now I always have this proud moment to be able to produce a longevity award. So I'm going to ask, oh yes, Matthew, you need to come up. This is 15 years. So with this, I present this plaque, 15 years of service to the city of Bisbee. And this is what we call homegrown greatness. He started on, I think once grew up driving a garbage truck, right? And onward and onward. He knows this city from inside out and this city hall from outside in because of all the work that he was involved in. So with this, I congratulate you and I wish. Okay. So I have no one called up for a call to the public, so we'll move right into general business. So of course, the first order of general business, it will be accounts payable. So I'll make a motion that we pay accounts payable in an amount of $164,114.55.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. We need any questions about what's in front? Yes, go ahead.
Okay, there was a couple, they just look like big numbers, so I wanted to ask about them. On the first page, auditing and accounting for $35,000. Just wondering what that might be. Finance department?
That would.
That's
be-
on page 1, did you say?
Yeah, that was the audit we just had.
Oh, okay.
That's the cost of the audit
Oh, okay.
or a payment on the audit.
We had several great auditors here for several days.
Okay.
Is that a once a year?
We are required to do an audit by state law every year.
Anything else?
Well,
Sure, go ahead.
I was just looking for big numbers and I'm trying to learn this. So I'm playing my newbie card here. On page 3, Spillman Maintenance, Motorola Solutions for 83,000 something. Contract service, that that's under the police department, I guess?
Okay, did you say Spillman Maintenance?
Yeah.
Okay, Spillman is a computer system that's used by law enforcement. It aids in the dispatch function, also is a record-keeping program and helps them write out their reports. Spillman has been being used, we've used Spillman for many years here with great success because it does a great job of keeping track of when you do a records request, the Spillman system is able to produce that record that you're looking for very quickly.
So that's why when the policemen are out and they have their computers, they can just use that, look up stuff real.
That's
okay.
correct.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks.
Good.
Anything else? All right, we have a motion, a second, to approve accounts payable in the amount of $164,114.55. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. So moved. Moving on to 2, this is approval of the consent agenda. We have one approval, actually 2 approval of minutes, one from the regular session from November 18th and one from the work session on November 18th. We have an approval or a removal of a person from the Police and Fire Advisory Committee. We have an approval of the park and facility and right-of-way use permit for Grassy Park from December 11th through December 22nd. And we have a special liquor license application by the Friends of the Bisbee Animal Shelter. Anybody have anything to pull? Any questions? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through E.
I move to approve the consent agenda, items A through E.
Second.
I have a motion, a second, to approve the consent agenda as listed items A through E. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. So moved. Under old business, we have item 3. This is discussion on possible approval of an amendment to the park and facility and right-of-way use permit submitted by the Bisbee Arts Commission for their New Year's Eve event to be held on Wednesday, December 31st until Thursday, January 1. A little revision, right? Go ahead,
Yes.
Karen.
Thank you, Mayor Budge. I think that people understand that when you have the circus come to town, sometimes things change a little bit. We had two amendments that we were asking for. The first amendment was the use of one flare, which we know that we're not having fire in the performance except for this one flare. And I had the chair of the Arts Commission go to Chief Richardson and clarify exactly what that meant, and he approved. And then there is the use of a bucket truck to hold up aerialists. And we needed to close the road, potentially Taylor Road, from 4 o'clock, I believe. Let me check again. I think it was 4 until midnight. I'm hoping that we don't necessarily have to have it there that long, but we're going to allow, residents to get to their houses. We just have to have that truck there for a little bit of a practice and then the event. Do I have any questions about that?
Is that the road right behind the city? Okay.
They're going to be putting the bucket truck there and then having something hang over so someone can hang from it. And it is my pleasure to bring that to the city of Bisbee in this great performance. So
Okay.
Do-
More questions? I'll take a motion.
I move that we approve the amendment to the park facility and right-of-way use permit submitted by the Bisbee Arts Commission for their New Year's Eve event to be held on Wednesday, December 31st, 2025, 8 a.m. until Thursday, January 1st, 2026 at 2 a.m.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the park and facility right-of-way use permit for the Bisbee Arts Commission. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. So moved. Should be a great event. Looking forward to it. I'll actually be back in town.
You going to be awake for that?
Well, that one will be hard, but maybe I'll nap. Okay, moving forward. New business, item 4. This is discussion and possible approval of the 8th amendment to the agreement for the sale and purchase of reclaimed water between the city of Bisbee and Freeport McMoran. City Manager Pocket.
Mr. Mayor, and good evening, everyone. This is an agreement that we've had with Freeport McMoran now. And it says the 8th Amendment, but I know the original contract was agreed to when I worked here the first time, so that's a little more than 8 years ago. The purpose of this started out when the company was doing all of its soil remediation work. Some of you may have taken advantage of the opportunity to have your yards cleaned out of lead and other toxic materials from former mining operations. They needed a lot of water back in those days for the remediation projects. So we agreed to sell them water, and they've come back to us off and on over all these many years. I think I'm thinking that the amount of water they actually used in the last year was fairly minimal. And that's what I expect moving forward. They need small amounts of water, and sometimes it's more convenient for them to pull it from a hydrant someplace. But anyway, this helps them keep their costs down on any remaining remediation projects that take place. And I expect we'll continue to do this for several years to come. And so staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember they came to us the first time, and it's really about, they said, if we can't use reclaimed water, we're going to drill our own wells and pull it out of the aquifer. And this is really environmentally much better. Instead of dumping it in the Greenbrush Draw as it does now, they have a tank, a pond next to it. We divert some into the pond and then they pump it up by where they can get it. So it works out well for both. It's good for the environment. We're reusing our reclaimed that would rather come out of good drinkable water out of the ground. So they're trying to be environmentally correct on this. So I'm all in favor. Any other questions? Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Are you sure? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just for clarification, because the word sale and purchase, is there money involved in this?
There is.
Exactly.
We sell the water to them at the price of 25 cents per 1,000 gallons.
Do you have an idea how much money we're getting?
Yeah, 52 cents.
No, the total amount.
Oh, the
That's-
total, I really don't know, because some years they don't buy any water. Sometimes they buy a little bit, sometimes they buy a lot.
Okay, but
It's-
that figure exists.
I doubt it's ever more than $1,000.
Oh, okay, okay.
Let me, from the first time they did this, we didn't charge them, but they said we will come in and completely rewire the entire mine tour. That was thousands and thousands of dollars to put all new wiring and all new lighting in there. So that's what we traded for the first time. And then when they came back, they're buying it at a very affordable price. Wasn't that right?
That was, yeah, that was $40,000 worth of wiring back in the day.
Okay, now yours.
Oh, I just wanted to point out in the paperwork that the top says Eighth Amendment, but then it goes on to say the Seventh Amendment to the agreement for sale. I don't know if that would,
Scrivener's error.
okay.
The clerk will take note of it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, we have a motion and, no, we haven't got a motion. I need a motion.
You're getting ahead of yourself here.
I know, I always do. Can I have a motion?
I move to approve the Eighth Amendment to the agreement for sale and purchase of reclaimed water between the city of Bisbee and Freeport McMoran.
Second,
We have a motion, a second, to approve the Eighth Amendment for the sale of reclaimed water to the Freeport McMoran. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed,
Aye.
nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. So moved with the correction on the amendment. Item 5, discussion and possible approval of a change order from Poster McDonald for additional architectural and engineering services at Camp Naco. There's our buddy Mike. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is, as mentioned, an amendment to the existing contract with the architecture firm, Poster McDonald. It includes their subcontractors that deal with the mechanical aspects of the design and the electrical, as well as the landscape architect. It includes some money for construction administration. To cover, we moved the landscaping into this phase of the construction, so it will happen at the end of when we're finished with the buildings. This will fund the interior design of the two buildings that will be funded with the National Park Grant. We refer to them as A2 and A3. A2 was originally a barracks. It's in the west quad of the site. And A3 was originally the mess hall. And so the funding for the design is also included in the National Park Grant, as well as the complete kind of finishing the renovation of those two buildings. So the exterior is already included in the current contract. This will cover the interior work as well. So those buildings will be ready to open at the end of the project. And we've been in communication with the National Park Service. Of course, things slowed down a little bit during the government shutdown, but we are continuing to work with them on getting all of the documents taken care of to release the funds for the project. So if this is approved tonight, we won't issue notice to proceed to the architect until we have the funding squared away with the National Park Service.
Okay, questions, comments?
I have just, what caused this? I mean, maybe you can further explain, maybe it's here, but I'm not seeing it. Why the change? Was it an oversight in the initial bid? Or was it something extra that you guys want to? Just so we can get clarification, public, the amount is $38,000, so.
Yes. So this is extra. It's in the original, kind of the work we're doing now was only covering the exterior work on the buildings. And actually, I don't believe building A3 was included at all. So once we got the $750,000 grant from the National Park Service, we were able to add these two buildings into the scope. And at the current time, the interior finishes hadn't been designed.
Okay.
So for example, in A3, there's going to be a commercial kitchen that'll support events on the site and possibly dining at some point in the future
Okay.
in that building. So this was to,
So
By
we
the
added
funding,
those,
it's-
these were
it's
added,
additive,
just a
yes.
quick clarification.
Yeah.
For addition.
yes,
Was
we got,
it bid for and then we came out and found we needed more? Okay.
correct.
Just for
So
clarification.
we got additional funding. We were able to add these two buildings
Okay.
into the project. We will come back to you at a later date. Once the design is done, the contractor then will give us an amended guaranteed maximum price to add that work, those two buildings into their contract. And we'll come back to you probably after the first of the year with that. Probably be, probably spring of 26 when we come back for an amendment to do the construction on that. But this is for the design work.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? I'll take a motion.
I move to approve the change order number 4 with poster Myrtle McDonald in the amount of $38,066.72 for additional architectural and engineering services at Camp Naco, pending the release of funds through the National Park Service Save America's Treasure Grant.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the change order for additional architectural and engineering services at Camp Naco in the amount of $38,066.72 once we get the money from the National Park Service. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none. The ayes have it. Thank you, Mike.
Great, thank you.
So approved. Moving on, we have a couple of issues here with some property. So the first one is item 6 is discussion and possible approval to designate a portion of 21A Tembe Avenue. That's parcel number 10363-026A as city surplus property. It's approximately 3,102 square feet. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Hi, Mayor and Council. Okay, so this is essentially Mr. Steven Sugarman submitted an application for the transfer of the city property under the city code section 2.6.9. The Planning and Zoning Commission with the regular meeting held on November 20th, 2025, the commission unanimously approved moving this forward to the mayor and council for consideration. A brief background. So the property has been associated with the current owner's property, and the property is valued at $6,800. Since it's below the $7,000 threshold, the city code authorizes proposed sale without a public notice or auction. So a couple more details about the property was that essentially they've owned their house and they had an accessory building and an air conditioning unit, and it was they were unbeknownst to them. Part of their property is their accessory building is actually on a city-owned parcel. So they found out through a survey that it actually was city-owned property. So they wanted to sort of correct the property lines and just have the buildings that they've had possession of actually be on their property. So it's essentially, I even drew a little map about it for it too, in case anybody wanted to know. This pink stuff here, that's the city-owned property. And the blue is their existing property, and then the green is the part they want to acquire. So.
All right. Basically, we've had this happen before. When it gets surveyed, we find out they actually built on across a parcel line. So this really wouldn't benefit anybody else but them, and probably something we need to clean up. Questions or comments?
Has there
So-
been, so go ahead, please.
What's up?
I'll recognize one of you.
Please.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I just wondered if there's nothing else that can be done with that land anyway, right? It's like part of their property already. It's not like
Yeah.
there would be enough easement for another something else.
No, it's an irregularly shaped parcel, and
Uh.
there's a part of this parcel has like a little parking lot,
Oh,
and their Their land essentially, it's just a small little chunk of it in the corner that
Okay,
they've already sort of laid claim to, and you would be able to acquire that and build a house or anything on it. It's just
Right,
not-
yeah.
It's just an awkwardly shaped parcel.
Right. that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay,
Did we receive any negative feedback regarding selling the land?
No.
anything else? Yeah, I've run across these over the many years I've been here. Once we had an entire half the house was on our parcel on a street, actually. So, yeah, that's, it happens. I think they used to survey with a chain and they used to just walk around town and go chain to chain. It wasn't, they did a good, they did what they could do.
Mhm.
Anyway, there's nothing else. I'll take a motion on item 6. Anybody?
I move that we designate a portion of 21A Tembe Avenue, APN 103-63-26A as City of Bisbee surplus property, 3,102.90 square feet.
A second.
We have a motion, a second to approve APN 103-63026A as city surplus property. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. Well, this is phase 2. This is where we set a price. Go ahead. Item 7, discussion process approval to establish a price of $6,800.
Right. So the appraised value is $6,800. So we're asking that you approve the $6,800 appraised value. For the City of Bisbee surplus property, that's 3,102.9 square feet. Tembe Avenue.
All right, questions?
And just for clarification, as part of our standard, since it's below $7,000, we don't need to do, we need to offer it on an auction. Am I correct?
You do not need to offer it on an auction.
Because of the, yeah, I just want to clarify this. So
Yes.
I can know. Okay.
Anything over here? Questions?
Nope.
Yeah, you can see it's an official appraisal, so, I'll take a motion on, item 7.
I move that we establish the sale price of $6,800 for the portion of 21A Tembe Avenue, APN 103-63-026A, City of Bisbee surplus property, 3,102.9 square feet.
Second.
We have a motion, a second to approve the sale price of $6,800 for a portion of 21A.
Mr. Mayor.
Tim, yeah.
I guess
I'm
we
pro-
don't say this often enough, but when the original ordinance was approved allowing for these sales to take place, one of the interesting provisions that we wrote into the ordinance back and we're talking back 2006, 2007. In the ordinance, we designated that any sales of surplus city-owned property would be placed in the Capital Improvements Fund 99. So over the years, all of these seemingly small sales of city-owned property have gone in Fund 99. And so when we got to the point where we were going to rebuild a building that we happen to be sitting in right now, the amount of money that was in that account just from sales of city-owned property was close to $700,000. So, I mean, these seem like small sales, but we've done enough of them over the last 20 years that it really had accumulated into a considerable amount of money. So, and because people want to know what we're doing with the money, we decided, well, we'll put it in the money for capital improvement purposes. And so that's the pledge that was made back at that time, and it's been kept ever since.
Okay, thank you for that.
Good, yep.
All right. Nothing else. I'll take a motion on item 7.
I thought we
We
did.
already did.
Did.
Oh,
We did.
We did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's done. We just
Just a
need
vote.
the A.
As I said, we did that.
So
Vote.
just a vote.
Yeah.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. So moved. See what the city manager does? He just broke my whole chain of
Yeah.
thought.
I was trying to get it in there before you called for the vote.
I know, but I didn't, I was looking this, anyway, never mind. Thank you for that. Keep me honest. All right. Item 8, discussion and possible approval to designate city-owned property located adjacent to parcel number 101-12-082H. It's an unaddressed strip of land as city surplus property. It's approximately 30 feet. Go ahead again.
Alrighty. So we're asking for the sale, I'm sorry, to request that the city council consider designating the subject property as surplus property. A little bit of background about this parcel. This is down off between, I believe, off of Black Knob. So this has been ongoing since 2019. This person, Mr. Roop, approached me. So he had actually applied to acquire the city-owned property in 2019, I believe. And the Planning and Zoning Commission and Council approved it back then, but then he was not informed of the actual date of the auction. So he came back to try to acquire the property again. So essentially what he wants to do is he owns one side, one parcel, and then his friend owns the parcel on the other side of this 30-foot wide strip of land. And he would like to acquire it in order to maintain it for himself. It's been fenced off for quite some time. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of background on that.
And since this one will be going up for public auction and
It will be going up.
if we approve the next one forward, so this won't be an easy sale unless anybody can bid on it. So we have to make it surplus before we can put it out to bid.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions or comments on item 8? If not, I'll take a motion.
I move that we designate the city-owned property located adjacent to APN 101-12-082H as an unaddressed strip of land, a city surplus property. Land is approximately 30 feet.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve APN 101-12-082H, an unaddressed strip of property as surplus property. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. So moved. Then we'll move on to the last item here is item 9 is discussion and possible approval to set a public auction date of January 6th, 2026 after 7 PM for the auction of city-owned property located adjacent to 101-12-082H, the unaddressed strip of land that we just approved as surplus. Go ahead.
Good thing.
I don't know what else you can say, but
Yes, all have been very informed of it. So essentially, I will tell you that the Planning and Zoning Commission the meeting held on November 20th. They unanimously approved moving this forward to mayor and council for consideration.
Can you repeat what you just said?
I'll read it to you. So at the Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting held on November 20th, 2025, the commission unanimously approved moving this forward to mayor and council for consideration.
Okay.
yeah, all these have to go before planning and
Yeah.
zoning for
Yeah.
consideration before they come to us, but we have the final word. Any other comments? Yeah,
I don't doubt we notified him last time, but obviously he will be notified very well this time.
Yes, he will. I'll
Okay.
call him personally.
well, we have now set a confirmed
Yeah,
date.
yeah.
So unless you don't have a quorum, we don't show up, but then it will go on. Okay. Take a motion.
I move that we set a public auction date of January 6, 2026, after 7 PM for the auction of city-owned property located adjacent to APN 101-12-082H, an unaddressed strip of land, and establish the minimum acceptable bid amount as $10,400 for the property.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, to set a public auction date, January 6, 2026, after 7 PM for the auction of property located at parcel number 101-12-082H, and the minimum amount of establishing the bid at $10,400. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. With out council's disapproval, I will ask the city manager to give his report now before we go to item 10.
No report.
Okay, with that, I'm going to make a motion on item 10 that we go into an executive session pursuant to ARS 38-431-03 for two separate discussions. All those in favor, I need a second.
Second.
Everybody's in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, we are going to executive session. Thank you, everyone. And I'll be inviting our personnel director in with us.